All right, greetings everybody. We are in the Hannover Messe show 2025 in the critical manufacturing booth, and our guest is Francesco, which is not new to our community. Good to see you again.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure talking to you.
So you've been here for a couple of days at a trade show. What do you hear from your customers? Maybe start with that.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's a lot of energy again. I think this show is busier than what it was in years before. There's a lot of excitement things going on. Everyone talks about AI in different forms. Once again, I think even stronger than the year before. And of course, we have our stake in there, so we have a lot of things to say about it. But it's very important, and I think we're gonna touch that for manufacturers to get a little bit rid of the hype and try to focus on the things that really matter now, and of course be prepared while being prepared for the future.
Thank you for that. Now, manufacturing is only getting more complex, right? Product customization, increased compliance demands. Now, for companies that want to regain control and visibility without overhauling their entire operation, what's the smartest place to start?
Yes, it's a very good question. So, over time, we have what we called the holy grail of the solutions in the manufacturing space, and they were composed by the ERP for managing the orders, the PLM for managing the product lifecycle, and the MES for the execution, right? So this was what we were born with maybe, 20 years ago or so. Right now, when you go down to the shop floor, to the manufacturing space, there's no longer just MES, but a combination of things, right? And so there's a lot of connectivity to equipment, what we call the automation layer, which is more than the IIoT that people talk about, but it's a connectivity layer. There's the MES portion, and there's now the new emergence of the data platforms world. So I think what is important for manufacturers is to start, first of all, with a vision, with a strategy, and then with a solid base. And for us, the solid base needs to have these three different elements. So we at Critical Manufacturing, we have a combined offering for those, but really, whether with us or with someone else, the importance is that we have these very important anchor points upon which you can then evolve further and try new things, try new approaches, but it's really important to start with these very basic things, because this is how you can get control, this is how you can get visibility, this is how you can get the necessary traceability and quality, right? So that's the basis of everything. Then everything else, starts from here and grows into different directions.
Got it. Now you often talk about transformative outcomes, not just incremental gains. From what you've seen, what separates manufacturing from truly transform with an MES, or those simply they are digitizing their inefficiencies?
Yeah, that's a good question. we always talk about if you just digitize what you have, that may be a little bit garbage in, garbage out, right? So digitization for itself doesn't do much. I think the manufacturers that take the most advantage out of these processes are the ones that understand what I just said, and they start by streamlining their entire processes and cleaning up the inefficiencies, right? And I can tell you, we have a customer, unfortunately cannot say the name, but it's a semiconductor customer, a very large one in the US. And one thing that was really interesting to me was that right after starting the MES project, even before there was any type of technology in place, right? So the MES was not even in there, right? And they were already having gains. And they were already having a significant portion of the ROI there just from the preparation for an MES, just from the streamlining of their existing processes. So I think this is really outstanding because it shows that it's more the vision, the process, what you have in mind, rather than the tech that you have to it. It was a really important learning for us during this project.
Thanks for sharing those insights. Now, you mentioned US, and my thought went to the global supply chain, and very fragile, right? What role can MES play in improving the operational resilience from materials traceability to supplier performance visibility to maybe adjusting the supplier on the fly with the new tariffs?
Yeah, there's a lot of uncertainty in the space right now, right? So, So I think that, again, some of the core things that you need really to have in place are the same ones that allow you the flexibility that you actually need, right? Especially when you're talking about now AI, and I wanted to go back to AI, because there's these different layers of gathering more insights, getting more intelligence from the data, and that's basically what allows you as well to have the necessary flexibility. And so there's the classical machine learning cycle that companies are still trying to get value from. And they get a little bit disturbed by the Gen AI, the generative AI approach, and also now by the agentic AI. So we have really exciting things coming up and really exciting products that we're adding to our existing portfolio.
I want to make sure I captured that. You said gentle AI, or what do you call it?
Agentic AI, yes. It's like the evolution of the LLMs, the ChatGPTs of the world. That right now, beyond just creating content, they are able to, through something that is called tooling, execute things, and execute things in a non-deterministic way. So it's like the agents of the future. You give them different sources, different elements, and different tools, and they'll come up with the necessary reasoning. They assess their own results. They improve over time, and it's very important for problems that are complex, like the ones supply chain related. They are not very deterministic. So this is the third wave of the AI. And again, what we need to understand is that we need to get prepared for that. So we are getting prepared for that, so that using an MES, an open MES like ours, and an open data platform, we can later plug the agentic AI solutions and have them working with our solutions. So I think this is an extraordinary revolution that is taking place. And again, going back to your question, I think this is one of the ways that we'll be able to, I don't know if circumvent, adapt, adjust to the uncertainties of the supply chain.
Thanks for sharing those insights. Now, you've referenced some big customers, and when people talk about MES, they might associate it's just for large companies. What's your response to small to mid-sized companies?
Yeah, I think that is no longer true. As technology evolved, there's many different solutions. I like to tell you that, for instance, within our offering, critical manufacturing, we start offering a subscription base that can scale as customers scale as well. Right? And so this is not only much more affordable, but also, especially if you are within certain industries, you have a lot of pre-built use cases that allow you really a fast start. So that's no longer true. In a sentence, that's no longer true. So there's affordable solutions for manufacturers, and sometimes not having it at all can be much more expensive.
Thanks for that. Now, I always value your vision, so I want to close with maybe 2030 vision. What do you think every manufacturer should have, and how is critical manufacturing evolving today to help those get those capabilities now?
Very good. So our vision is basically, again, anchored on, first of all, you need to have an automation layer. You need to be able to get the most out of the equipment and the assets that you have in the manufacturing floor. You need to have an execution engine that ensures compliance and the right levels of traceability, which is the MES. You need to have a platform that allows you to generate the necessary insights from the data. Okay, so those are the basics. Then on top of all of that, we're going to have more and more things. We're going to have augmented reality. We're going to have AI. We're going to have what we just talked about, the agents being like the business layer that provides the intelligence to the operations and allows companies to really go, and get into new heights that were not possible before. That's the vision for 2030. I think the MES would just be something that you can plug into this overall agentic infrastructure.
Got it, Francisco. Thank you so much. So I got automation, execution engine, and I got the platform,
the analytics,
and analytics for it. So looking forward to double click on those in later this week, as well as during the MES and Industry 4.0 Summit.
There will be a pleasure to having you there.
All right.
We're going to explore all those things in this conference.